right. We were at the point where I could get a part of the whatever wins he will have when he has that thing. He would give me part of it too, because I asked for double the fee basically.
Right. Well, the
And
point
he came
is,
with a counter offer.
yes,
I think I'll accept
yeah,
that.
the counter offer was that you get to keep the other things you find.
Yeah.
And and then you would get 100 gold pieces in addition to what? 1 per hit point? No, 2.
There was something about
10 per hit point loss.
100
10 per hit
gold
point loss,
and
right.
10 per wound.
Yes.
So yeah.
And so, which I think is a little fair.
Well, we'll see.
And
The
then
things sounded a little bit ugly, so I'm not certain I'm really made a good deal, but I hope it.
All right. I had suggested that you think about people that you might bring, and if you wanted to, the standard hirelings are basically people who will carry things.
Well,
And
I
that's
need a
right.
little idea that goes in front of me, so I have a little bit of cover.
Okay, so you're sending them into danger.
That would be the purpose. I'm not sure I have something heavy to carry.
It was made very clear that you have something heavy to carry. These worms are as big as a person, and they wiggle.
Yeah, but I wanted to find some kind of trap, so I can trap them, and then hopefully they don't wiggle that much. But if they are as big as me, I still might need somebody to carry them. That's
Right.
true.
Bearers and porters do not cost very much.
I
It's
see.
silver piece for a whole day.
I can afford that.
Mm-hmm.
And they are not going to run the first moment they see whatever we are going to find there.
We have rules for that.
We have rules for that. Let's find out the rules.
Right. So, well, no, I know where they are. So therefore, you could get depending on how you want to set this up, you can get bearers and porters, the kind I just mentioned. You might, if you want to, hire a teamster who will drive a cart or a wagon, with a mule or something, and have them around in the area anyway. And that is the idea. There will be no real difficulty in locating individuals to take them to the job, particularly if you are in these nasty skeevy dives like the maps that I showed you, where you like to hang out. There are people who are perfectly happy just to hang out around on a street corner in the night with their wagon, doing nothing.
Oh dear.
And waiting for somebody to put a nameless bag into the wagon and then drive it where they're told. That sort of thing that can happen. So all you really have to do is, it gets harder if you want to employ them, like to go on a big trip with you across the country to a dangerous hole in the ground, but this is very straightforward. So it's really just a matter of paying.
Yeah, in which case I probably should pay somebody to stay around in a corner close to where I'm going and waiting for me to deliver something into his wagon.
Okay, do you want people to help you carry things?
I think I want one person with a wagon and one person to carry.
Perfect. Okay, so it's only 6 silver pieces, so just write that down. Given that, actually, you know what, I'm going to bump it up to a full gold.
Easier.
Because they're pretty clear this is dubious work. And
for that I want them to stay around if it gets
right. Well, the overpay helps.
Okay.
So it's a win-win basically. They will react better if you pay them more.
Let me put it like this: if they stay with me through it, there may be something more. Just saying.
Got it. Okay, so you have now these Just two guys, right? The
Two
teamster
guys,
and the
and
narrator.
I want to inquire in some appropriate place if I can find something that may trap those worms. And I should have asked if they have some preferred food or something. Like I basically treat them like rats or
Right.
mice or
Okay.
something. That's my basic idea of
Okay.
how they function.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'm inquiring. What was the guy who gave me the?
That was
what's his name?
Shezvar.
Shezvar?
Yes,
I start with
gender
asking
indeterminate,
Shezvar.
very large person.
He seems to know what he wants, so he probably should know what they like and dislike and how to trap them.
The best way to trap them is to give them a small person to feed upon. That's actually what got this temple in trouble in the first place. However, doing that there might be a little bit of a problem. I mean, you don't want to, for example, sacrifice something to whatever entities may still be powerful in that temple, if they're indeed, but if indeed any such thing is happening. I mean, the temple's been inactive for years, ever since it was crushed by the big churches. So there probably isn't much risk of awakening the minor deity who would then eat you, if you did that. So probably using yourself as bait would be probably the best way.
Yeah. Well, I'd rather take you as bait, but I feel a little bit tricked. But well, let's.
Shezvar has the most benevolent.
Yeah, I bet he has.
He blinks a few times. The only thing he moves.
See you around tomorrow. Okay, so I'm making my way to that temple.
And you will be accosted by a person whom you recognize. And this person is maybe not the most great person to run into, kind of a depressing life story. The term is right here in my little table list here. Oh, there. Yes. Well, actually, she's kind of fun. She is described in the rules as a brazen strumpet.
God's give me patience.
Who calls out your name loudly in the night street, just as you are slipping out of the tavern. And sadly, a whole bunch of other people's ears perk up because she brazenly, addresses you and says, "Hey, Hazel."
Hi. What was your name?
Oh, well, this week it's Carnation.
Perfect. Really happy to see you.
Well, I hope you are, because if I didn't find you, I wouldn't be found the next morning. So
Trouble?
a little bit. Somebody's in trouble. Maybe something is in trouble. All I know is that I need to introduce you. I need to. There's a tree. You see, there's this tree, and apparently, I can't really explain it. There's a lady. She lives in the tree, and she really wanted to
Meet me. Okay. If I help with your lady in the tree. Will you help me out with something else?
Sure.
Deal. Show me your lady.
She takes you down a street which you would ordinarily not go because it is a slightly people go there to purchase romantic services, and there are lots of very dubious places, that are either
I'm
very
starting to
brightly
play
lit.
with my knife.
Yeah, they're either very brightly lit or they are very not brightly lit, and a person who comes out of an alley and looks like the worst, the saddest, the most depressing person you could see in a place like this, a thin woman with a ragged garments, looks like she hasn't eaten, and comes up to you, and her eyes are all hooded and shadowed, and she looks up at you and says, "Yes, you are her daughter.
Whoop.
I see it in your eyes. You look just like your mother."
Do I know you, lady?
She says, "No one knows me now. My tree stands alone in this dark place."
What the hell? I'm looking at Carnation.
Carnation says she's all you see is the twitch of her hind end as she's walking away and waving like this without even looking behind her.
Damn bitch. I'll find you.
Sorry, I just fell in love with Carnation.
I'll find you, girl. Believe me, I'll find you. And if it's the last thing I
She didn't do anything bad.
Yeah, I bet. So,
To you.
so? And if I look like my mother or have her eyes, what about it?
I have something from her for you. And yet my tree, I cannot get to my tree. It is enclosed. I don't know how to explain it. But here, walk with me. I will take you to the tree. And you can see.
Lady, I'm a little bit busy. So, how long will it take if we go to your tree?
She doesn't understand the question at all. We can go.
When will we be back?
Oh.
When will I be back in this spot where we are standing now?
Whenever you want. She's really not playing with you.
Well, lady, you made me curious. I'm not looking forward to what I have to do otherwise, so show me your tree.
She turns a corner. And she's gone. And so are you. You find that the city twists and turns around you in your mind, and you are suddenly aware of plants in different places, mostly highly urbanized. And here and there you will see a woman much like this one sitting next to a tree with her head against the tree, sadly or quietly. And you just get these weird sense impressions of where they all are. And then you're standing next to a tree.
But there's nothing kind of.
But now you're in a real place. And she cries out in fright and says, "No!" and steps, like vanishes and blends with the tree. Which, if you had a moment to look, you could see if you looked at this tree, now having seen this woman, you would think that the tree kind of weirdly resembles her in an indescribable way.
So she's gone and standing there in front of a tree that looks a little bit like her.
Mm-hmm. And there's a bunch of crazy baboons fighting guys.
Oh dear.
I mean, the tree was just sitting there.
I guess I recognized maybe one of the guys, or how dark is it?
What's next?
Oh no, you're in pretty good shape. We can write a few more things in a moment, but we can do them as we go. The hit points, we had calculated your hit points, if you recall. I think I wrote them on your sheet somewhere. Can I see? I think I put them in the back.
Yeah.
You have 17 hit points. And remember we talked about armor and weapons?
Yeah.
I will give you those pages right now for you to play with. Here are.
Also, how big is a segment?
How big is a what?
A segment.
6 seconds.
Mm.
Now, let's get back to our situation.
Okay, fast question. Is there enough light that I recognize any of the guys fighting?
Not without checking as an action.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things happening to process quickly. So as I will describe now, if we go by this, the tree is about right here.
Mm-hmm.
And the building that Olver is in and the sprites are right here.
Mm-hmm.
And that the fighting has gone badly enough, at least you are now standing right at the doorway of that little shed / temple, I think. That's what I recall. And then as he has stumbled back from this terrible bite and you have looked up and realized this guy just saved you.
Yeah.
Right. And
I just killed one of them.
yes, you killed one of them, but you have, I believe, been backed actually up against this spot here. And remember, that's the fence to the really, 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 really scary place.
Yeah.
Although, given that savage, glowing red eyes baboons have emerged out of this one, you were beginning to think that maybe it is not as scary.
Exactly.
But that is where we are, and I believe we were beginning a round.
Yep.
And Milo, we will do a few other things. We'll fill out some of those things across the bottom and stuff like that. But it will be pretty easy. Right now, just pick a characteristic weapon and armor for your character. You may not have banded mail or plate mail. I believe that we will begin with something called rolling initiative.
Mm-hmm. Who is in? Am I in?
You are in.
Then
She should surprise.
If she appears, could she surprise someone perhaps?
Actually, let's roll for surprise regarding your character.
Wait. How was that with a surprise?
You will. It's right there in front of you.
Reaction
It's
plus
right there.
2.
It's right there. Yeah.
Only.
Okay, so surprise.
No, but I mean, is this reaction plus 2, does that apply to surprise?
Thieves.
No?
Yes.
Yes, good. That's what I wanted.
Let's just follow the procedure. Roll a d6.
Mm-hmm.